Cinema Dash, first episode of Season 2.
Season 2, Episode 1, or Episode 12, if you're a perfectionist.
We'll label it as Season 2 in like a folder, but this will be Episode 12 in the actual name of the video.
I'm going to separate all the seasons into,
and
different playlists.
And also, we'll probably have the name of the movie that we're reviewing, or a poster of it somewhere, either in the title of the video or in the actual thumbnail.
This season, since I'm the one who usually edits everything together.
Just for those of you who don't know and or care, Deej is the one that does all of the YouTube stuff. Seeing how I don't know how to operate a computer properly. Like I don't even know how to use a keyboard. So but I'm the one, or I'm usually the one that handles all the social media.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we got a Twitter, so if you want to go check that
follow
out,
that bad boy at the Cinema Dash.
At the Cinema Dash. It follows only the two of us. So if you want to know who I would really like outside this channel, you
probably don't, but whatever.
Give that old Twitter account a nice old follow.
Yeah, and smash that follow button.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
So that's how we do things around here.
So
two-man wrecking crew.
Pretty much. This season, I'm gonna focus a lot more on like making custom thumbnails and just overall making the production value of the podcast a lot higher than it was last season. Because I would say last season was sort of like a trial run.
Yeah.
It was like, I guess if you want to compare it, like, I don't know if you guys watch Sleepycast, but like they pretty much said like their first season was like a pilot season, and then like season 2 they were gonna have a lot like more production value. I guess that's pretty much where the inspiration I'm taking from it. So last season was really fun. We had a lot of good times on it, a lot of good laughs.
A lot of good.
And this season,
yelling.
A lot of yelling. Yes, definitely. That whole Mission Impossible episode, that was a lot of yelling.
Get me started.
That was a lot of yelling.
Jurassic World.
And Jurassic World, yeah.
Oh god.
But this season we're gonna have a lot more, and it's just gonna be a higher production value. So I'm gonna get like a mic stand hopefully sometime soon. Everything will be better hopefully. So on to the review, I guess.
I mean, one more thing we should address is I'd like to say thank you. For those of you,
of course,
for subscribing.
Big thank you.
We have crossed the threshold of the double digits.
That we have.
We now have 12.
Oh my god!
So I think this deserves a round of applause.
Yeah, great. Yeah. All right.
So
all 12. Yeah.
All 12 of them.
All right.
So
love it.
So that's 3 more than we used to have.
Exactly. Yeah.
So 3 more is 1/3 of what we used to have.
Yeah. 3 more pitiful souls that came into this mess.
3 more sorry saps that accidentally subscribed.
Accidentally clicked the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Nah, it's okay. But
should we?
Very big fan.
Maybe we should do maybe a couple guests. Maybe if we have the.
Yeah. I was talking to one of my friends from work who also runs his own podcast, and they just talk about like different things like music, movies, TV, and stuff like that. And he showed a lot of interest in coming on us, coming onto our podcast, and he wanted us to be on his podcast soon. So hopefully we got some of that in the works.
And I have a couple friends too. You know who you are.
Shout out to you know who you are. Hopefully this season we're gonna have some guests. Yeah. Invite them into the crib. So that'd be really cool.
We'll see how everything goes.
Yeah, totally.
Now we spent the first 3.5 minutes of just updating you. I guess we'll just put a little small update in the description.
Yeah. I'll put one in there.
So now on to the movie that we saw. If you looked at the Twitter and seen our commotion on the brochure.
Excuse me.
It's a bro ocean. The brochure.
The brochure.
Anyway, we watched the movie yesterday.
Yes, we did.
It was 2.5 hours long.
That it was.
And it was like late at night when we came back, so we just felt like, let's wake up, start fresh the next day. And we watched the critically acclaimed movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy called The Revenant.
Yes.
So there's that.
The Revenant.
Yes. And we have our opinions, and we're going to tell you all a little bit about the movie as well.
Alrighty.
So let's start with a simple synopsis.
Simple synopsis of the story, or the story, or lack thereof. Pretty much what happens is Leonardo DiCaprio plays a mountaineer and mountain man.
Yeah, they trap some fur.
He traps some fur. A hunter with a couple of people.
A big group of people, and
he gets mauled by a bear.
Yeah, and you see in the trailer he gets mauled by a bear.
Yeah, he gets mauled by a bear and he has to survive and hike back to camp.
And he's looking for a little bit of revenge in there too.
Yeah,
some
a
other
little revenge. I think this movie is best experienced not knowing much about it.
Yeah.
So obviously there's going to be some spoilers in this podcast, and we'll put a little spoiler annotation on the in the description and the title.
Yeah. We'll make it very clear to you that there will be spoilers in this talk.
Yes, there is going to be spoilers in this talk, as with our usual.
There's a little bit more elaborate description. You know, for a trapper, Leonardo DiCaprio was with a big group of people, including Tom Hardy.
Dom Hall Gleason.
Yeah. Was he the guy that's in, like, he was in Star Wars,
He was in Star Wars, he was in Ex Machina. He had a really big year this year.
I checked his filmography, just all the stuff that he's been in, and, like, all this stuff is pretty top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
So,
definitely.
I don't know if he's just a really good guesser at what stuff will be good and he should be in, or he's really
his agent deserves some props. I'll tell you that right now. His agent deserves some props.
Right there. This cast is mainly comprised of dudes. So
yeah.
There's that. There's like there's like one female, or two females really.
There's two females. And,
two real clear ones in the cast.
It's mostly male-dominated cast,
So to go back into the story, so they're getting some fur, trapping fur, collecting it, whatever, gonna sell it for a price later on, and they get attacked by a bunch of Native Americans. I'm gonna check my
check my privilege.
Check my privilege, and not say I'm not saying Indians here. Is that microaggressions?
Microaggressions.
Whatever. The point is, I'm gonna use the right terminology here and not be.
We'll be PC on this podcast.
Quote unquote racist here. I won't try to be that.
Yes.
So Native Americans come and attack, kill a majority of their group, and they kill a bunch of Native Americans. And there's really two stories to go along with this as well, just because it's not only Leonardo DiCaprio's journey to seek revenge and get back his strength and make it back to civilization, but it's also a smaller story is that Native Americans, I guess the leader, I want to say, I'm pretty sure it's the leader.
The chieftain.
The chieftain, not the Halo villain, but the big hammer. No, it's
Indeed.
The leader of the group is trying to find his daughter, who was kidnapped, and some other stuff.
Yeah, by the French.
Yeah, by the French, and and the weird thing is they trade, and I'm not sure if that's that was said, but I don't think it was clear to the Native Americans that they had the people that they were trading with, the French, actually had the daughter.
Yeah, that was a little twist that I enjoyed in the movie. It added a lot of depth.
So there's that.
That was really cool.
And the reason why Leonardo, just go back to the main story, is Leo seeking revenge. He's looking for revenge against Tom Hardy's character because, spoiler, Tom Hardy killed Leonardo DiCaprio's son. And it just, besides the fact, you killed someone that's very important to someone, and you're going to want some kind of revenge, either, through law or through your fists, or guns or weapons and whatnot.
Right.
It's the only thing he had left of his wife, who also got killed, I believe it was by Tom Hardy.
I don't think it was Tom Hardy.
No, because he was in the army, remember? In that one scene with, like, the flashback, it was his face on the soldier.
Was it?
I think it was, yeah.
Huh. I guess I must have missed that.
It could have been that, or it could have just been like, oh, he's seeking revenge because he's also like, oh, because I killed the son, but he could also, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, it's not, because...
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's because they were asking him in the movie if he ever killed an officer.
Yeah,
and then
and
then he said, I only killed, the simplest way to say it is that he killed him because... He killed his wife, and he was going to kill him too.
Yeah.
So yeah. Alright, I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
I misremembered something from less than 24 hours ago. As you can see, I'm senile.
Oh God, no. How's this podcast going to continue?
It probably won't.
Oh. But yeah. So
that's a simple story.
Pretty much simple story for it. So going into this movie, I was really looking forward to it. Because I was reading a bunch of stuff about it last year, like in the beginning of last year, and I was really hyped for it because Alejandro Inarritu, I think that's how you say it. Just came off this high of winning Best Director, Best Picture
for
Birdman and stuff like that, and his movie pretty much swept the Oscars, and now his follow up was going to be a much more stripped down, bare bones. bare bones movie, just starring just a couple people, and it was going to be character centric, just like his last movie. And I was looking forward to it because he does characters really well. He knows what he's doing. He's a very talented, very, very talented director.
If you watch this movie, you'll very much see that he knows exactly what he's doing.
Exactly. He's a very, very talented director. He knows what he's doing. And I was looking forward to it.
And the weird thing is, I haven't heard of him before Birdman.
Yeah, he mostly he did a couple of American films, but mostly he did Spanish speaking or Mexican. I think he's Mexican. Mexican films.
Check your microaggression.
I'm sorry, I'm checking my privilege right now. I don't want to be a cis white gendered male.
Put them in the description. Just checking your microaggressions.
Checking your microaggressions and privileges. But yeah. So he did a couple of I think his last American or one of his American films was with Sean Penn. It was called 21 Grams. Great flick, by the way. Highly recommend that one. Yeah, it's good. It's a great movie. But other than that, he's mostly known in like the Mexican circle.
Yeah.
Just knowing, just they know most of him, or mostly about him. And then I think he really broke through with Birdman.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he knew exactly. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. And going into this movie, I was really excited for it. I was really, really looking forward to seeing it. So what about you? What were your first impressions?
I was somewhat excited just because I knew it was coming out in December. It had Leo, and it only meant one thing: it's an Oscar bait movie. In most movies that I see that are Oscar bait are either really artsy and try to go for a very vague, direction. Just the fact that has a very unseeing message, I would say, in it, if that makes any sense. Just
it's a type of movie that wants to be analyzed.
Yeah,
right.
You have to think a lot about over time.
Yes,
and discuss with others probably.
Also, that was another reason I wanted to see this movie because I love Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. He's in my top 3 favorite actors.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
So I was at a medium excitement about this movie going in.
Yeah.
Was I thrilled about it being 2.5 hours long going in? No. But
no,
because I got shit to do, Goldblum. I got some stuff to do.
Sick reference.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So sorry. I was medium
excitement.
Yeah. I wanted to see it, but I don't know if I wanted to see it in theaters or.
Right.
I wanted to see it. I don't know how. Just maybe either in theater or just when it came out, either on Netflix or whatever.
Right.
So yeah.
So I think it's safe to say
coming out of this movie
that we both fucking loved it.
Yeah. If we go, did we ever upload the top 10 list yet?
Our favorite movies?
Yeah.
No, I did not upload that yet. That's gonna be. By the way, just to address something really super quick, you might notice that our episodes go from I think it's 7 to 10.
Yeah.
We did film 2 episodes.
We filmed 8 and 9.
In between. We filmed 8 and 9. I think 9 or 8, either 8 or 9 was going to be our top 10 favorite movies, and then 9 was a review of something else. Those are going to be lost episodes, mostly because
it wasn't Creed.
It wasn't Creed, no, because I uploaded
Creed. Was 10.
Creed was 10, yes.
So it was whatever it was Spectre.
Right, it was Spectre, yeah.
It's a top 10 list in Spectre.
Yeah, it's a top 10 list in Spectre. I did finish those, they're all ready to go. It's the only thing was, throughout the editing process, a lot of stuff went wrong with my editing software, and then YouTube was being an ass and not letting me upload it. I tried uploading them to SoundCloud, it didn't work also, so I just gave up.
We have SoundCloud?
I made a SoundCloud, yeah, but there's nothing on it.
Okay. If you want to go follow that, go ahead.
Yeah, just go ahead. And then, honestly, I did it. I only did it as a backup.
Shows me being aware of what we're doing.
But yeah, so then I tried uploading them to YouTube, then SoundCloud just didn't work, and then I just eventually got really pissed off and gave up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try again and upload those. They're gonna be lost episodes, so they really don't have any relevance or continuity. But if you want to watch them, that'd be really cool, especially the top 10 one, because the top 10 one was one of my favorite episodes that we did.
It's also over 2 hours long.
Is it over 2 hours?
I
think it is over 2 hours.
I remember being here for a really long time, and it's over.
Yeah, that's just one where if you're playing a video game or doing something, just throw that bad boy on in the background.
It's honestly what you should do with this entire channel.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way, just so everybody's not confused. But anyway, we both.
What the fuck, man? What are you doing? Do you even know how to count, man? irritating me. What's wrong with you? What are you, special enemy?
Whoa.
Sorry, check
No,
your-
it's cool. Check your microaggressions, bro.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll
But anyway-
apologize on Twitter.
Anyway, back to the.
Because that's where it matters.
Anyway, we both love this movie. We
Yeah.
both found it to be a fantastic movie.
And the reason why I
Phenomenal.
asked you about the top 10 is because I very thoroughly enjoyed this movie enough to put it probably within my top 10.
Really?
Yeah. So I had to check whatever I put for that and swap one of them out because, yeah. But
Cool.
the only reason why I really like this and would put this in the top 10 is because it's truly and only probably one of the only artsier movies that I got.
Oh, this movie's artsy.
And yeah, it's very artsy.
Oh yeah, this movie's artsy.
Artsy to the max.
Artsy fartsy.
Yeah. And just like just like the shots in it, and just everything in total. There's really, I don't really have a problem with it. There's some here and there, but like that's like nitpicking, honestly. But yeah, I'd put it in my top 10 of all time
Wow.
because yeah, like I said, it's like one of the only Oscar movies that I can honestly sit down and enjoy again. Probably not right away, just because it's 2.5 hours long. But
Yeah,
like, if someone said, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Revenant," when you want to watch it, I'm like, "Hell yeah, I will."
Hell fucking yeah.
Sick nasty, man.
Totally. So let's sweet transition. Let's move on to what we liked about the movie.
Yeah.
So
You go ahead first.
Sticking with true cinema dash form.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite aspect of this movie is
Wait.
obvious
3, 2, 1.
the cinematography.
Yep.
This is one of the. All right. This is I'm gonna firmly stand by this, that this is one of the most beautiful looking movies I think I've ever seen in my 19 years of existence. This is some of the best cinematography ever put onto film. Seriously, like ever put onto film. Emmanuel Lubezki, the cinematographer of the film, really outdid himself. What I didn't know about this movie until I looked up some trivia about it last night. They shot this movie with natural light.
Yeah. No
And
lighting.
to be able to accomplish that just by using natural
I think
light,
it was like I think they filmed for almost over a year. Or
yeah, it was
almost
like
a year.
9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they only filmed for a total of an hour and a half a day.
Yeah. Which
So-
is ridiculous.
So not only is it money just consuming a lot of
Oh yeah, he went over
income,
budget with this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just also really pisses off your entire staff and everything.
Yeah.
Because want to get the movie done, you just
Yeah.
gotta get it into theaters, you gotta get that whole editing
And,
process.
and it's
through.
all those conditions filming in like the Canadian wilderness. It's like, oh boy.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this movie was really good. It has to win a couple of awards and make its money back, or
Oh yeah, I definitely think
And-
the production, like though it went through a tiresome production, I really think the final product was absolutely phenomenal.
yeah,
But yeah, going back to the cinematography, oh my god, just the shot, they really made it. I felt cold while watching the movie.
Yeah.
That's how intense and just amazing the cinematography is. I felt like cold. It felt. Whenever they, Lubezki and both Alejandro Gianaratu, some of their trademarks is they love to do really tight close-ups on actors' faces. And that movie was littered with that, and it just added with the intensity of how vicious and gritty this movie was.
yeah. Not only that, just one shot takes as well.
Oh, also, yeah, that's a very big Alejandro Gianaratu thing.
If you watch like the first 20 minutes of this movie, it might have just one,
It may have like just a couple of edits.
yeah, like maybe a grand total of 10 cuts, not even.
Maybe around that. And that's another trademark of Alejandro. He loves long takes. If you just watch Birdman, that movie looked like one long take, which was what he was going for, obviously. But
Yeah.
like this movie, there's obviously a lot more edits. It's not as I would say ambitious. It's not as ambitious as Birdman, where he tried to film it all in one take. But there's definitely a lot of one-take shots, mostly action scenes. Maybe some, definitely some action scenes. Scenes of Leo crawling through like mud and snow and stuff like that. Definitely a lot of close-ups. What I also really liked about it was that not only does he have a lot of great close-ups, but he also has a fantastic amount of wide shots. Like wide shots of scenery of when Leo's walking through this wilderness. There's a lot of wide shots, a lot of sweeping helicopter shots that really capture the Canadian wilderness for what it is, a barren wasteland.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely incredible. It was mind-bogglingly fantastic.
There's one there's one shot in particular that I found was like probably my favorite one, and I told you about it in the car on the way back. It's a shot of like probably a helicopter shot, and it's like a river, and it's like winding all the way down and whatever. It got snow on both sides, hills going up, very symmetrical.
Yeah, symmetrical. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sun is shining light right down the middle of the river, even though it's like curving back and forth on both sides, and it's just one of the best shots I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, this movie, this movie,
very clean.
Oh yes, this movie definitely has some of my favorite shots of all time, and like. I knew the cinematography was going to be good going in, but like coming out of it, this movie has probably some of my top 10 favorite shots ever put onto film. One of my favorite shots in the movie was when they send out a search party looking for glass.
Yeah, right around the
end.
end.
Led by the captain. And they, knowing that they filmed this all in natural light, it was completely pitch black. And all of a sudden, out of the trees, you see a bunch of people riding on horses with torches.
It's all foggy.
And it was all foggy, and oh my god, it looks so badass.
If you remember in the Creed review, you mentioned that our favorite scene was the part when he's coming out of the
oh yeah,
tunnel.
when the Irish
it reminded me a lot of that.
Yes, it did remind me a lot of that, and that's a movie trope I think I would like to say, like I would like to say.
Lighting in fog.
Lighting in fog, very dark, natural light. I
Silhouettes.
think that's a movie. Yeah, I think that's a movie thing that I would really like to see stay because it almost always looks fantastic. Yeah, so cinematography is definitely my favorite aspect about this movie. Now I'm going to explain what else I liked, but much shorter.
Yeah.
I really like the score. I definitely thought it was Golden Globe nominated. It should have deserved a Golden Globe nomination.
We were talking about that in the car. We were just going.
Oh yeah. And then like 10 seconds later.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! Look at the audio spike on that. But yeah, really like the score. The performance, all the performances really were absolutely captivating. Leonardo DiCaprio was mesmerizing in this movie. He was so captivating and gripping. Oh my god!
I mean, you could basically say that about all of his stuff, though. But this
definitely.
is probably one of his
best roles.
Yeah.
Definitely. Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he wasn't injured during production, it looked like he was in a massive amount of pain when watching. This movie was about pain. Yeah. And like you could see it. Like
my one favorite scene in this movie was the part with the bear. Because, not only does the bear obviously they didn't use a real bear to maul for Leonardo DiCaprio, but they used a fake one. But it's
CG.
It's not it's like you can obviously tell it's fake, but like
it looks good. The CGI in this movie looks great.
Because they don't use a lot of it.
No, yeah, definitely. This movie's all practical, which is what I really liked about it.
Yeah, but so like, it's a very good looking bear. Like, if you showed someone without like showing him like a trailer or anything for this movie, because or telling them anything about the bear being fake, obviously they're gonna think it's a real bear, and like he's getting attacked and eaten and clawed up and brutally killed and attacked by a bear.
Yeah.
And my favorite part just about it is like when he gets attacked the first time, and he's like staggering over, like crawling over to get the gun. He's like lining up the shot to shoot the bear, and the bear's just like right over by his feet, and he shoots the bear. He's like, "Oh shit, we're doing this all over."
He's like, "God damn it!"
He's like,
Yeah, so
it's a whole movement with that too. I don't understand.
Yeah, they did. No, I read how they did it. They hooked Leonardo DiCaprio up to a set of wires.
Oh, see, I knew.
And they just flailed him around, and it was absolutely insane. So they just they flailed him around, and it was it just looked painful. Going back to the performances, Leonardo DiCaprio was absolutely fantastic. Really, I didn't have a problem with any of the performances in this movie. I think all the performances were fantastic. Tom Hardy was great as a villain. Domhnall Gleeson was really cool, really convincing as a strong leader captain. Yeah. Will Poulter was actually really cool. I haven't seen him in anything besides We're the Millers. And
that was the kid I was talking to you about. He was he was in
Maze Runners or whatever. Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Yeah,
but,
they're terrible. I heard they're pretty. I heard they're just not good.
My sister likes those. I don't really.
Well, yeah, she's a white teenage woman who reads books and likes books
about young adults.
Yeah.
All right.
Also likes movies based on books about young adults.
Exactly.
Also checking my privilege.
Oh God.
Making sure I'm checking that. So
anyway.
Also, I really can't stress it enough. Put it in the description box that we're checking.
Check period R period privileges period
And microaggressions.
and microaggressions.
Yeah.
In parentheses and microaggressions.
Yeah.
But anyway,
he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, Will Poulter was really, really cool in this movie. I haven't seen him in anything dramatic, but after seeing this movie, I'd like to see him in more dramatic roles.
Just not in, Maze Runner.
Yeah, just not Maze Runner. But he was really, really good in this movie. I really liked him. Who else? The main chieftain. I don't know his name, but he was really cool as a very threatening presence throughout the entire movie. Kind of like a ghost.
Another thing I liked about it was the fact that Leo also spoke whatever language.
He had to learn the Native American language,
Yeah.
Pawnee and something else.
I think it's.
It started with an A.
I thought it was Sioux.
No, Sioux were just the tribe that killed that one dude's family, remember? He had to learn Pawnee, and shout out to all you Parks and Recs fans out there. He had to learn Pawnee, and I think it started with an A. I just don't. I can't pronounce it.
It's not Apache.
It's not Apache, no. But I can't pronounce it. It's something with a lot of P's and X's. But yeah, so it was really cool. You could definitely tell that Leo put a lot of dedication into this role, like a lot of dedication. He even went out and said that this was his most difficult and most intense film role, and that was really, really cool to hear because it definitely shows. In this movie. What else did I like? So
what else didn't we
sound.
like? What didn't we like?
Yeah, what didn't we like?
Seriously.
That would be a better question. And it really, I really like the effects. I loved how it was all practical. I really like the CGI when it was very sparingly used. I really like that.
What other scene was used besides the bear?
I think the bear, maybe some deer that were running around.
Maybe
the
buffalo, maybe as well.
The buffalo.
Probably
the buffalo. The avalanche at the end.
Yeah.
That little mini avalanche.
Also, was that a meteor thing in the one part of the movie? Because I remember there being a huge fireball going across the sky.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that.
Yeah, that was probably CGI. Definitely his wife floating above him. CGI.
Yeah.
The effects were great. Really, almost everything about this movie was just absolutely great.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. What did you like?
Well, besides the part where it's the only time I can ever say I enjoyed I enjoyed watching that man get beaten up by a bear. Some of the scenes in general, like I said, the one shot of the river going down and then the two mountains on the side and the beam of light going right down the middle is probably my favorite in the entire movie. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the Will Poulter, you said that's the kid's name.
Will Poulter.
Yeah. I really enjoyed him. Tom Hardy, as always, he's been in a lot of good stuff as well lately.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen, Mad Max review, go ahead and watch that. Just another plug-in for Tom Hardy right there. Leonardo DiCaprio gives another extremely good performance. If he does not win Oscar for Best Actor in a Leading Role, I might never see a movie again.
Oh, wow.
Because
that's a very big statement right there.
Yeah, because it's just, if he doesn't, what other competition does he have, really?
He's got Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs. I think the Oscar race for I don't think the Oscar race for Best Actor is going to be a cutthroat thing. I think it's going to be Best Director this year. It's going to be a very cutthroat race.
But we can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about. Oscar. Yeah, we'll do an Oscar episode. Soon.
I can see us doing that.
Yeah, we're totally going to do an Oscar.
We live tweeted the Golden Globes.
Oh yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah, that was an adventure.
But anyway, yes. What else did you like about the movie?
Just dialogue in general.
I didn't think the writing was anything.
See this movie.
I didn't think the writing was anything special, really. Oh Jesus! Look at the spikes on that bad boy.
Yeah.
But I didn't think the writing was very groundbreaking or anything.
Oh, no,
but it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be at all. 75% of this movie does not have any dialogue whatsoever.
No, yeah, but I feel like when it is there and is needed, I think it's just very good.
Oh yeah, it works fine. It works completely fine. There's no cringy lines.
You can have this movie on silent and just mute.
Oh yeah, you can watch this. Well, I think sound plays a very big role in this movie, though.
Mute.
If you mute the talking, it wouldn't matter. Honestly,
some scenes where they're fighting each other and he's putting Leo into the dirt and burying him alive.
Yeah.
Burying him alive.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, just
What I also really
That's
liked
neat.
was among the group of like Leo's group, there was a really nice, cool sense of like camaraderie among them, and like it felt like they were actually like
Oh, they're like a platoon.
It didn't feel like they were on a movie set reciting their lines. It felt like they were actually like lived into this setting, like this wilderness, for like a couple months or like however long they were out there.
I mean, actually, that's actually how it happened.
Yeah. No,
It was a
I'm
log
saying that's what
cabins.
I'm praising about
Yeah.
the movie. Like I really liked how it was like. It felt like they were like it wasn't actors
They're very-
on a set. It
they're
felt
very,
like
they're very adaptive actors.
yeah,
and they did very well.
yeah. It felt like they were out there. It felt like there just so happened to be a camera there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it felt like they were actually in this wilderness and they were just like reciting things or like saying these lines realistically and very convincingly.
Also, the action. The action
The
was
action definitely
Well,
one of
no,
the best.
yeah, I
if
mean-
not the best part of this movie.
Yeah,
I loved
besides the bear, it's also him dodging all the Native Americans
And the French.
and the French as well. Shooting arrows at him, bullets, and just because like you gotta remember, this is a movie that's set prior to the Civil War, so it's all like guns. You have to you gotta put the bullet in, you gotta put the gunpowder, you gotta make sure it's all the way down there, and you gotta cock the gun back and fire. And it'll take another 5 minutes to do that all over again.
Yeah.
And they kind of just did that all flawlessly. Like there wasn't anything like I saw that was troubling them.
No, not at all. Another thing about the action is this is one of the most disgusting movies I've ever seen in my entire life. This movie, oh my god, the violence is brutal.
Oh, we also
in
got
this
to
movie.
We also got to mention that they call out to Star Wars and they take all the innards out of the horse.
Oh yeah. I remember we were taking there's this one scene where Leonardo has to sleep inside of a horse and he completely disembowels the horse.
Yes, you whispered to me.
And
right
I
in that
whispered
scene.
I whispered to him in the middle of the theater. I was like,
He's like,
Naruto.
They smell bad on the outside.
Yeah, there was one scene where he had to do that, but this movie's disgusting. From Leo's injuries and like
yeah.
seeing him in pain.
And then him chopping off with like a little hatchet Tom Hardy's fingers.
Oh yeah, when he cuts Tom Hardy's
He's
fingers
like,
off.
like,
I remember I let out an audible like, "Oh shit!" Like
Yeah.
at the top of my lungs in the movie theater, and like people next to me started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, all right, relax." But yeah. So this movie's disgusting. From Leo sewing up his injuries to the action.
It's a good disgusting.
Oh yeah, it's a very good.
He uses gunpowder to cauterize
to cauterize one of his wounds.
Because you can see like water's going in his mouth and coming out.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
So you just
that was
pass
absolutely disgusting. But in a good way. In a very good
Oh,
way.
yeah. It was rad.
Yeah, it was rad as well.
Some old school doctory going on.
Yeah, right. What else? Yeah, so it was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like it really added to the grittiness and this was a dirty movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything clean about this movie besides like the cinematography and how sharp it was, but like this movie was absolutely dirty. There wasn't one character who wasn't like clean or like had dirt smeared or blood smeared all over their face and just wounds and open scars and stuff like that. Oh my god.
The makeup. Just
The makeup department really deserves
Yeah.
some props for this because it was absolutely fantastic. It looked like Leo's flesh was hanging off of his body,
Yeah.
like his legit flesh. It was really, really, really good. The makeup department and the costume department really
Yeah.
deserve some props too. I know they don't get like most costume departments. Yeah, sorry. Don't really get a lot of props for movies, but I really feel like this one, like this movie, should get a lot of props.
They have their Oscar.
Well, they have their like, Oscar categories and stuff like that, but you don't really like hear a lot like in like the news. You just hear about like, oh, this actor signed onto this movie, or like this director's directing this movie. You don't hear like, oh, so and so is being the costume designer for this movie. Like, I really feel like they should get a lot of props because it really looks like they had like really nice fur garments and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was really realistic. I really liked it about this movie. What?
It looked nice and
Yeah, it
warm.
looked nice and warm. Oh no, this movie was not warm. This movie was not warm. It's not good.
They looked like they were warm in all that fur though.
Yeah, they did, and it was really cool. It was really cool to see how realistic it was.
You mentioned before it felt cold in the movie theater while watching this movie. It was pretty warm in the theater going in, and I'm like, oh shit, it's so cold in here. Put my jacket back on.
Zip up my jacket a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much what we liked about the movie.
And it just
right,
took up half the review.
Yeah, pretty much. What didn't we like about the movie?
I mean, lack thereof.
Yeah, lack thereof.
The
Really.
only thing I can really nitpick is that once again, Tom Hardy still proves he can still be inaudible.
Yeah, just more.
Yeah.
Batman.
You definitely.
Mad Max.
I mean, you can understand him in Mad Max. It's just like he gets a lot of Bane in this movie.
Yeah, sometimes his accent kind of falters a bit. So does Domhnall Gleeson's and Will Poulter's because three out of the 4 main characters are British. So, It's like
I thoroughly understood them.
oh yeah, I understood them. Yeah.
Tom Hardy and some lines like
Yeah, some of their accents fall through.
I'm like, what?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
And I feel like the only really big gripe that I have with this movie was, you know, for a movie based around realism and survivalism and like the human condition and filth, I think the scenes in which Leonardo DiCaprio sees his wife and it gets all surreal and weird, I feel like those don't really mesh well with how realistic, because this movie markets itself as a realistic survival adventure of one man trying to not die. And then when you see this, and then when you see these surreal scenes of like Leonardo DiCaprio's wife appearing as like a specter or like floating above him or like a meteor falling towards the earth, it doesn't detract from the movie at all. It just feels really out of place just when it happens.
I can explain that to you on the ride home. Those visions of his wife are really only because, you know, he's trying to survive, seek revenge on the man that killed his son.
Yeah.
And the only reason why, I mean, besides the whole fact, you know, someone killed his son, is that his son was the only thing he had left of his wife.
Yeah.
If technically. So yeah, there's like the whole thing was like, oh, you know, you gotta avenge him in some way, and then you get the whole message of like, oh, God, the only revenge comes in God's hands, and he's just kind of like, you know, puts him off in the, yeah. So you understand that.
Well, like I get like that's like his way of like remembering his wife and stuff like that, and like I get that, but like I don't know, I just feel like it just felt really out of place. But it didn't lower my score of the movie, so to speak, at all. Like it just felt really like out of place.
Just like my Tom Hardy thing. Like,
yeah. And that's really the only gripe I have with this movie, besides the second act being drawn out just a bit too much.
I think the second act, I think when you said it to me in the car on the way back home from the theater, you mentioned the first act was great, the second act drawn out a little too much, and then the third act was also great.
It was phenomenal. Yeah, the third act is definitely my favorite part of the movie.
I think first act was phenomenal. I could agree with you that the second act, had the third act not been that great, it would have been drawn out and almost meaningless.
Oh no, I definitely wouldn't say it was meaningless.
But, I mean meaningless in the fact that it's like,
I think the second act had the best cinematography of the entire movie.
Well, I mean, just in terms of like story and everything.
Oh, in terms of story, it was basically non-existent. In terms of story,
it's still him trying to get back.
It's just him. Mostly the second act is just
finds
him.
the one Native American who helps him out, tells him like, oh, your body is rotten, and we have to heal you.
You gotta heal you.
And they have that one, I get quote unquote comedy scene where they're trying to catch.
They're trying to like catch Netflix, and that was a really cool scene. I felt like that really just it lightened up the tone a bit. I really like the audience after what they saw in the first act and and halfway through the second act after what they saw. I think they needed a little break. Yeah, because like holy shit, I think they needed a little break. But yeah, I mean like like the second act, I would say definitely had the best cinematography of the whole movie. It was just a tad, like it was just a tad bit a little drawn out. Because again, how I mentioned, like 75% of this movie doesn't have any dialogue. Most of the not dialogue happens in the second act. So I definitely appreciated it. I definitely appreciated it from like a filmmaking standpoint, but from like a story or like a character perspective, it just wasn't that strong.
I like the entire thing, so I don't necessarily.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I love this movie. It's just the second act I just felt was a little bit too drawn out, and that was really it. But all right. So what else What else caught our attention in this movie?
I mean, we said cinematography.
Yeah, cinematography, hands down. A pretty.
I think we pretty much got everything. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think and see if we skipped over any points. I really enjoyed how every character interacts with each other.
They use every actor.
Yeah, I like how every actor really got a chance to shine. Shine. I really like that. I also really enjoyed the relationship between the Native American and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
The brief relationship that they had. I really felt like they were truly out there to help each other. Like the Native American was out there to help Leo. I really like that.
I enjoyed the flashbacks.
The flashbacks. Oh yes, the flashbacks were really cool too. Yeah. The flashbacks were nice.
We had that pyramid of just skeletons and everything, and the bones.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
I like that.
Yeah, that was cool. honestly, I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Yeah, we both really like this movie. All right, so official Cinema Dash rating. Let's do it.
Okay. First review of 2016.
That it is.
I would say I would seek revenge. No, I would beat up 10 out of 10 bears.
All right.
Or no, I'd rather get mauled. No, that's for bad one. Yeah, I'd rather beat up 10 out of 10 bears.
For me, I would scalp 9.5 fur trappers out of 10 for this movie.
I would rather. I would rather.
Oh God.
I'm trying to think. I got one. I just gotta figure out how to compose it and make it a sentence, make it like actual sentence. I'd rather trek through the Canadian wilderness for 10 out of 10 days.
Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure after watching this movie, I realized like I'm never going to be able to survive in the wilderness if I get caught. I'm never gonna do it. Like
I'm straight up fucked.
I'm straight up lying in the snow and just watch it covers me and I die and freeze.
Also, I'm gonna try and grow a really big beard for the winter, and then after that, I'm just gonna be beardless, and then go back to the big beard for the winter.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's first episode of the second season. Hopefully, our next review will either be Hateful Eight or something else. Mm-hmm. If there's any theaters that are playing it around here. Yeah. Still. Hopefully, it's either Hateful Eight or something coming out soon. Yeah. So
I'm Gabs,
and I'm Deej. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next time.